What is up, beautiful people? Episode 124 of the Ignite Your Purpose Show podcast vlog, chinwag sessions where two men from two different sides of the world talk about some of the craziest stuff, and the base is health, and it's Ignite Your Purpose. We talk longevity through a healthy lifestyle. First and foremost, that's where everything comes from. It's a mix of mental, physical, and spiritual knowledge. Okay, you know that. The mind, body, soul trifecta, which means it's a little bit of everything we talk about, right? Because it's not one thing all the time. And the base of where John and I came from is negative to positive, and that's what we try and do every day as we put forward that ripple in the ocean, which is positivity from the negativity. Gosh, John, what are we talking today?
Against our better judgment.
Oh, geez.
Thank you. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. If you like it, hit subscribe. At the bottom of the page, in the description, tags for t-shirts, tags for social media, tags for equipment we wear or clothing we've got on, just in case you're interested. If not, you can just listen. So today, against our better judgment, two occurrences of this today. Went to visit a member of my family. She's probably going to, I think she's online now, so she might be listening. I'll get a phone call in a bit. And we were talking about a relation of ours who has got an eating disorder and is back in rehab, clinic, I'm not sure what you call it. The same place she was 15 years ago. She's had this problem for 15 years. And during the conversation, she's not well, and we're all thinking about her. And Max and I have been speaking with her, and just trying to be a friend there, just to listen. But she's not in great condition. But as far as I understand it, these eating disorders, they're more often than not about control. And what she's done, she's gone from being a vegetarian to being a vegan, because by all accounts, that's about more control. That's more things that they cannot give her to eat. And this person in my family was saying how that's not good and it's not great. She'll only get worse. It's more control. It's this and this, that and the other. And against my better judgment, I said, don't necessarily agree with you there. And then I got a really sharp elbow in the ribs from my wife. And there are reasons why, because dairy foods are acidic forming by their very nature. When you have an acidic environment in your body, this is to the best of my knowledge, the body then leaches the calcium, magnesium out of the bones, if there is any there, to neutralize and make this its neutral acidic state, neutral state, acid alkaline state. But then also you've got all the saturated fats and all this kind of cholesterols as well that may or may not be of use. I'm not too sure where that lies. So that was the first thing I did today, against my better judgment. The second one is I met an incredible guy called Stephen. I think Stephen is Stephen. I've had memory mind blocked, names mind blocked. And we're talking about social media and video and audio and all of this stuff. I had an incredible conversation. He left, and then I had some time to kill. So I refilled him a cup of tea, and then I looked at the array of shit that they have on their shelves at Starbucks. #Starbucks.
Oh, no.
Shelves.
Oh, man.
And against my better judgment, I had a piece of lemon drizzle cake that I knew had nothing but shit in it. I knew was not going to fill any element of my satisfaction for needing something to eat, but I took it anyway. And I'm sure I've got a takeaway for you about this, but I'm going to let Max tell me his examples of against his better judgment, and then we'll pull it all together at the end.
Oh, man. Okay, so against my better judgment. And yeah, so I'm with a group of people who are uber knowledgeable, smart people. They're all in the medical field, like some in big pharma, some in the healthcare industry, ER people, all that type of jazz, right? And I'm having a chinwag with them, so I am in their world, right? I come from a different background, John. You know how I think, a little more foo-foo, a little more Eastern philosophy, natural healing remedies. I understand there's a time and place for everything. So against my better judgment, I walk in and I'm drinking a celery juice. If anybody out there wants to get educated by a gentleman, he's online and all social tags. He's the medical medium. And he's talking about celery juice, the celery juice thing. So my other half and I have been rocking this celery juice for a while. So I walk in drinking my celery juice, straight up celery juice on an empty stomach for 30 days. This is what the protocol is. And Buddy asked me what the female says to me, hey, what are you drinking? And I'm chugging it, and it's not the best tasting stuff, right? And I said, oh, celery juice. They all then looked at me like I was absolutely crazy and said, why on earth would you drink celery juice? There is no nutrients in celery.
Bullshit.
And against my better judgment, being in their world and knowing this, maybe an ego-based conversation, John. I'm trying to think of it as I'm saying this.
They were not, whatever you said, they were not interested in this.
Exactly. So, they're trying to back up every, book and fact with their side of it. And I'm going, man, just go online, check this dude out. And then it's everybody online says can be a this, it could be in that. And I'm like, holy geez, this guy's got 1.2 million followers, thousands of, I don't want to use vegan or vegetarian, thousands of millions of plant-based people that follow him, that are on these protocols that he's doing, that have healed the craziest stuff. Anyway, long story short, I'm trying to back up with some science. I am not educated like them, for 15 years in university. So, they've definitely got a few things on me when it comes to spitting facts out of a book from 1983. But against my better judgment, I should have just shut my mouth and been like, yeah, you're right. What the hell was I thinking? But against my better judgment, I got into it with them. And, 10 against 1.
Yeah. I would have hoped that there would have been one person in that room that would have gone, okay, why is it you're doing that? I'm going to go and look it up. And then I can make an informed decision from what I read and what I hear and what I see. Yeah,
I would agree with you. And on their side, I really wasn't hearing what the hell they were saying either. You know what I mean? To tell me there's, I guess there's no nutrients in celery. What?
Okay. What condition generally? What condition were these fit, healthy, vibrant-looking people, or?
30-40% of them. Yep.
Okay.
I'm I wouldn't say as vibrant. I would, not that I'm comparing, but when I see somebody who's rocking a plant-based diet, and when I say plant-based diet, that does not mean you don't eat certain things. I'm just saying where your nutrition, a good 80% plus, is coming from
whole food,
and live raw foods all the time, right? And especially over here right now in the summer, we're able to do that. I don't think they're quite as sexy as some of the sexiest I've seen, right? But some of them doing pretty damn good.
Okay. How are we going to finish it off?
Yeah. Now, John, so I kind of gave the takeaway there. My better judgment, maybe it was ego-based. I wanted to sound right. I should have just shut my mouth and understood, because we talk about this all the time, but we are human, that it would have been a waste of energy. There's 10 of them, one of me, as if they're going to listen to me. I'm not a medical guy, so you know what I mean? Against my better judgment, that's that. Now, John, my question to you, for the listeners and the people watching, when you looked and you were in Starbucks, I can't even believe I have to mention that name, supporting corporate America. What the hell? Anyway, what were you thinking when you looked at this cake and went, man, I'm going to eat that? I don't know if it was a social setting. Of what memory got triggered? Why did you get into it? When it was against.
I'm going to cover the other one first. I'm going to cover the why I said something in front of a family member.
Okay.
And I don't know whether it's because I've always considered myself kind of inferior to my sister, but I'd like her to get into a conversation with me. So, because she's so shut down to these things, I kind of want to engage in a conversation about nutrition and health, to say, well, you've got your way of doing things.
Yep.
And I've got my way of doing things, and I'm not saying I'm the healthiest person in the world, but let's take a look at each other. Not to say I am and you are, but just to try and encourage some kind of behavioral change within her, so she can start looking after her health now, before she's trying to recover her health later. So that's sort of one of the reasons there. Why did I pick this piece of shit up in Starbucks? Ultimately, we met because of this young lad uses the free Wi-Fi.
Fair enough. Hey, that's how they get you in. There you go. It shows you right there. Free Wi-Fi, sells tea and cakes. So they're brilliant.
Yeah. Was it? It's. I don't know. I think ultimately you've just got to be aware enough, like I always to say, right, I'm doing it. I've done it. I've eaten it, and then really think it over to pull out. Is it because we never used to have this stuff when we were children? It was the once a month or once every 2 weeks, and because it's available, I want it. And there's some dopamine freaking neuro pathway connecting me to, oh, that tastes good. That's going to give me a sugar high, and it's going to be great. So it's just trying to register these patterns of thought. And so I might do it today. I might do it in 6 months. I might do it in 3 years. But recognizing it, so I'm doing it consciously rather than just doing it because I see it and you don't.
And I'll say one thing on our health talks that we had. I see your intent a little bit more out of a caring spot, whereas my intent with a group of people that are somewhat acquaintances and friends didn't come from wanting them to be healthier. I hope it would spark a conversation, but mine may have been a little more bravado, like you said, a little more trying to prove a point to where you're.
And that leads into something I was going to say before, but completely forgot. It's come back. The problem with when you get old, your memory starts to go, I think ultimately it's about, with maths, and when you're placed in these environments, choosing your battles.
Yeah.
Let's not try and freaking convert everybody who's obviously not in the same freaking sport field. Talk to the people who are semi-interested. They've got 1 foot in the same pitch, because it's going to be a much easier conversation.
Yeah. I guess in the end, as long as your intent's always in the proper spot, go hard, right?
Yep.
Anyway, people, as always, we know you could be anywhere in the world. You're right here with us. We damn well appreciate that. If you like what you hear, keep vibing with us. Do the share, the love, the hearts, the subscribe, the follow. We really appreciate everybody listening on the audio. That's popping off crazy, so that's great. Maybe, John, we're meant to be radio personalities because maybe these faces aren't quite cutting it in the Hollywood game. I don't know what it is, but we're doing good on all platforms. We appreciate that. It means we're bringing you some value, and that's at the end of the day all we ask. Negative to positive.
Each and every day, step by step. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow it is.
Subscribe.